Kids are not stupid. They see and they know everything.
I mean, how come all of the research on this is completely against you? That even if it's the case...
What research, Spock?
Yeah,
Dr. Spock? Epitome of my misery is what y'all are.
Right, maybe you just don't want to have a conversation. You just want to freak out.
Can I ask a question? When you say that...
I'm not a granny, dude. Got a 15-year-old. Who's a granny around here?
Holy hell. Andrew Wilson just spanked this OF granny model in this heated debate. Andrew Wilson goes head-to-head with the fiery granny as marriage, divorce, and family arguments absolutely explode. Before we get into it, about 98% of the viewers of my videos are not subscribed. If this doesn't improve, I'm sending OF Granny to your houses, and it's not for baking you cookies. Like and subscribe for daily debate chaos. This is America only.
You've spoken about people staying in marriages, right? Kind of working through everything. I mean, so one of the questions I have for you is, for example, if a woman, if there's the fact that they didn't get along, without going into detail, over several years, they didn't really get along, and eventually that caused distress for the woman to where she fell out of love. I think for a lot of women, or at least for me, I can't have sex with someone if I'm not in love with them, right? And I think that men need sex. I think it's just innate, it's natural, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. So do you think it can still work through that? Can they move beyond that? I probably didn't explain that very well, but...
Sorry, are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's for you, Andrew.
Okay, so let me make sure I get a couple things clear, just to make sure I got it right. When you say that you can't have sex with anybody unless you're in love with them, right? Does this mean that if you found a man to be extremely attractive, that you would just be unable to have sex with him?
Let me go back. So in the beginning stages of a relationship, when two people are very attracted to each other, I would agree that there's still some element of waiting, but when you get to that point at which you have these strong feelings for another person, right? So there's that at that point at which you can be intimate with someone, right? And then obviously you fall in love and so on and so forth. So I do agree that there's that initial piece when you're, in the initial stages, but beyond that.
You mean the attraction piece?
This is like middle school stuff. Like, oh, do you like me? Do you want to be more than friends? I mean, dude, grow up. You guys are at least in your mid-20s, early 30s. Have you not figured this out yet? You should maybe wait a while before just hooking up with every guy that you think is hot, because you're going to find things about him that annoy you, that set up red flags, that instantly make you unattracted to him. So I'm just saying, keep it in your pants. I mean, we got to tell it to the ladies now more than ever.
Right. Like if I went out and was really attracted to someone, I still can't do it. I have to have feelings involved, some rather serious feelings before I can do that. So once you get into a marriage and you've been together for years, and I'm not just asking for myself, I'm just asking in general for many people, because I think there's a lot of marriages where that's the case. I think more so it's challenging for men. So how do you think that works?
What's the challenge?
Or I guess two pieces, and I apologize for being all over the place.
No problem.
How does a man stay in a marriage for years and years, potentially, without receiving sex from his wife? And then I guess the other part that I didn't ask was, how does women have a harder time, I think, hiding or faking emotions to look happy for the children, because ultimately it's necessary, right? You don't want your children growing up with people that are unhappy, or who are unhappy. So how do you, in your eyes, how do you make that work? Like, what does that look like to you? And I'm only asking because I've been listening to several conversations.
Yeah. So from
podcast.
which view? So are
from
you
both, I
guess. How would this work from the Christian view, or how would this work from the non-Christian view?
Either way.
Okay, so from the Christian view, she's not fulfilling her duties inside of the marriage, and there would be probably ecclesiastical intervention from the priest and community to try to assist with whatever the problem is. Maybe he's fat, or he stinks, or, maybe, I don't, who knows what the actual issues are. Or it could just be that she's no longer attracted to him. There could be all sorts of various issues, but I mean, that would be how that would be dealt with. It would be dealt with inside of the community, and generally is, right? Even people who seek marital help are basically doing the same thing. They're looking for some kind of like third party or arbiter to assist them with whatever those marital issues are. So I don't know if you're asking me something beyond that, and I'm missing it, or
No, I guess I'm just thinking of the greater good in certain circumstances, right? Whether it's Christian or whether it's what's ideally best for children.
Well, the Christian way is the best way. It's really the only way. I mean, save it for marriage. Like, make sure you actually like the person before giving him your body. I don't understand why everybody is just giving out free samples to every single person that they meet. It's just absolutely disgusting to me.
Yeah.
So either way,
I mean,
works,
it is best.
right?
It is generally best for children for their parents to stay together. It's not monolithic. There's obviously going to be some cases where that's not the case, but overwhelmingly, it is the case where if the parents stay together, their children are definitely going to have way better outcomes.
Mm-hmm. So ultimately, I mean, what if there isn't a way to work around that? What if the woman has tried, has done her best to do her duty, and it's
the
miserable.
thing is like, this is an interesting question, and I talk about this a lot with various people from all over the place. But when I start to hone in on the specifics, because in this case we're making like kind of a general statement. It is generally true that
Okay, I want to watch the lady from Titanic who hooked up with Jack and then threw his necklace over the boat. I want to see what she has to say. She hasn't had much to say yet. Oh, okay, there she goes. You can tell she's pissed. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
if you had to
answering the
pick a
goddamn
set-
question.
So if you had to pick a set of years in which were the most important years for a child, which years would you put those in?
0 to 5, formative
Okay,
years.
Right, exactly, the formative years. There we go. So those would be the.
So if you don't show your wife or she don't show you love in those formative years, that kid is not going to know what love is. Either if you show your kid love.
Hey, calm down, lady. Like, we're not at your AARP physical or anything like that, so calm down. It's just a conversation.
They are not.
Yeah, so I mean, how come all of the research on this is completely against you? That even if it's the case for, especially for.
What research, Spock?
Yeah, I'm
Dr. Spock?
Here's
Dr. Spock?
Yeah, here's what you can find. I understand that it's difficult for you because this morning was maybe the first time in weeks that you had to get off of your back. But if you could just
No.
seconds,
No.
we can actually dive in.
I ain't had no in about 2.5 years, and that's not even the reason. I don't even want it, man.
Yes. Anyway, so the thing is like, if we look at the stats, yes, this is indeed the case that it's cohabitation.
Epitome of my misery is what y'all are.
Where you find the. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just don't want to have a conversation. You just want to freak out.
Can I ask a question? When you say that it's
Really?
always better that the parents stay together, as long as there's no or anything like that.
Actually, that's not what I said.
Okay.
I didn't say it's always
clarify
better.
what you.
What
Okay.
did I hang on? So I get straw man constantly. And the reason is because like ladies I was just talking to, they can't be quiet long enough to listen to what I'm saying. So even though
I listen to you.
even though I will listen to everything they just said, when I'm giving a response, they
Dude, imagine this being your grandma and you come over and she gives you kisses and transplants other people's DNA on her cheek. Sorry for being graphic, but that's what she does. Yeah, I would be a very disappointed grandson.
they just can't even chill out for 5 seconds to even hear what I'm saying. So that's what happens is people strawman me constantly. I didn't actually say in all cases. I wouldn't say that because that would be a monolith. I'm just saying that generally this is
Generally,
true.
okay.
So most cases, we could say at least in most cases, this is true.
Generally, better than.
And there's that most thing that you were talking about again.
Okay, well, hold on. I want to make a point. So better
Yeah, you
than.
remember how I used that word in context so it actually made sense?
Better than what? Better than divorce across the board? Better than a child living in 2 different homes? Better than what?
Well, the conditional of divorce most often leads to cohabitation between you and somebody who's not the parent of your child. And it's in the cohabitation where you see the largest forms, either from single mothers or from their partners. You rarely see this type of inside of homes where you have the biological father and the biological mother. The rates drastically decrease almost across the board, even if the parents report that they're not particularly happy in that marriage.
Would you say that's the same that also to like having a stepchild where you have one non-parent and one parent, and then also a child that is of the marriage?
So I'm a stepfather myself. So again, it's not monolithic, but it is the case, generally speaking, that you're going to see a whole hell of a lot more of your children from step-parents than you are from their biological parents. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Every stat you'd ever look at would reaffirm that that's the case. But cohabitation is where it's the most dangerous. And cohabitation, even for the unaliving of men, when they unalive themselves, those rates skyrocket during cohabitation as well. Far less likely even than if you're divorced than if you're cohabitating to unalive yourself. So almost all of these, so if divorce generally leads to cohabitation, which means you're living with a person without marrying them.
Dude, I want to hear more from the granny. It made it seem like she was going to be screaming the whole time. Okay, it looks like she's talking here.
Well, right. But you see how divorce rips you away from your biological parents.
Well, it depends on the
That's what
custody
happens.
arrangement.
Exactly.
Well, no, actually,
exactly. Like you're saying, it depends on the
custody arrangement.
exactly.
But
No,
you're
it doesn't
presuming.
depend.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Girl power. I mean, shut up, Grandma. You're a fossil and a prostitute. You're a fossil too. So you need to just, put something in your mouth and just can it.
If your mommy and daddy don't live with you anymore, right? You're ripped away from one of them or the other of them at any given time. So if you're with mom for 2 weeks and then you're with dad for 2 weeks, or you're with them every other week, right? You're missing time with one of them. Necessarily. It's a necessary condition of divorce. You're ripped away from your parents. Necessary condition. There's no way around it. For all cases, every single case, unless you were to have some bizarre case where the mom and dad divorce and then stay in the same home for the purpose.
And we're going to wrap this one up here. Kind of just repeating the same thing. I just had to see what, old OF Granny had to say. Well, if you like videos like this, we are dropping them daily. And make sure you like and subscribe. YouTube is showing me that like 98% of you are not subscribed yet. Not good. Not good at all. So like and subscribe. Thank you for watching America Only.